Well, you guys have seen this, lady. The puppy killer. Jesus Christ. Like at a certain point, you're like, is it colored contacts? Yeah. How it's been put out that that the FBI is going to spend at least a third of their time on immigration. Economic crimes will get put in the back. Maybe, but I think what they'll do in terms of immigration is they're going to go allegedly chase down terrorists that snuck into the country. I'm going with colored contacts on this all the time. I don't know anybody's like pupils who maintain that level of dilation all the time. Maybe it's just what happens when Jesus enters your soul. So,
Senator Capito.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Ranking Member, and it's great to see you, Secretary.
This one, by the way, is called Secretary Kristi Noem warns DHS isn't scanning many shipping containers coming into the United States. Well, A, since that's where most of the fentanyl comes in, maybe you should. And B, your job is pretty easy now because there's a lot fewer fucking containers coming in, wouldn't you say?
Noem, and it was a pleasure to serve with you in the House for so many years. I just want to make a statement in the beginning because this chart, which you can't see, but many of us have seen, the blue lines being the number of people that were coming across the border during the Biden administration, and then the red is what you and the president have done over the last 3 months.
Right. The border is closed. Nobody is coming in. And yet, after the border was closed, biggest fentanyl bust in history. Real quick, how the fuck does the biggest amount of fentanyl ever cross the border after it's closed? Why wouldn't you have... all right.
Say congratulations. Results speak loudly. Not only are migrant encounters down 95%, but
fentanyl is way up.
Gotaways are down 99%. To put it simply, migrants are just not slipping through.
They're not coming anymore because the right-wing support structure that drove them up here in the first place is no longer paying migrants to charge the fence, essentially, which is what they did all during the Trump administration, both through China and Russia and other malign actors and the right-wing supporters of them who put ads in South American papers and arrange for people to come up and try to entice people to make a run for it, flood the airwaves. Anytime they watch the news, all you heard Republicans on the news say was, the border's wide open and they'll let anybody in. That's over now. So
not evading our.
Am I saying it was theater? I'm saying it was theater.
Border Patrol. I boil it down to two basic strategies that the administration has done that the previous administration could have done but totally ignored. One is deterrence. When possible illegals look to the United States and see that we are following through on deportation orders in larger numbers, I think that's it.
Biden deported more than Trump did in his first term. Term to term, Biden did far more. He was just not a dick about it. I think that's what you mean. Just be a dick about it. Be mean and evil and scare people away. You need a moat with alligators politically. But Trump's not on track to even beat Biden's last year in office.
Huge deterrence along with other things that are occurring. The other one is enforcement of the law. You already just said that. So is there anything else you would add specifically, very shortly, that you can attribute this dramatic drop? You're being accused of breaking the law, and that's the reason the numbers are down. I personally don't believe that.
Well, I think
no, I think the numbers being down because of the lack of deportations around the border is a sharp drop off. There's also people calling bullshit on the fact that there are supposedly 25 million people running around the country illegally, and you haven't been able to round them up. So you're grabbing babies with cancer and people who are married and have put their past behind them, who have American children and American spouses, and you're putting them in El Salvador in prisons. That's the issue we have.
having a strong leader in the White House that says we will enforce our laws in this country has worldwide effects. In fact, in where I have traveled to countries in El Salvador, Mexico, and Colombia, their leaders and their governments said, when you talk about the fact that you are now enforcing the laws in America, when your president talks about it, when we see these ads that are running in our country saying, if you want to come to the country and America illegally, don't come. come the legal way, do the right way. We are now enforcing our laws. They say it has an overwhelming effect. In fact, in Mexico, some government officials, when I was there visiting with them and the president, said that they believe 500 to 600,000 people just in Mexico turned around before they ever got to our border in the last 3 months because
Because they weren't being paid by the Russians to march towards the border anymore?
they got the message clearly when they were on their way. They heard that and they went back home. Also, I would say Border Patrol is thrilled. They get to finally do their jobs.
Right.
They get to finally, the morale has never been better. Recruitment is fantastic. ICE is recruiting.
Yeah, they got a bunch of Jan 6ers they can pull to the front lines.
He's up 54%. I'd say the Coast Guard is up over 100% in recruitment, and the Secret Service is up over 200%. So,
Yeah, but neither of those are really dealing with, I mean, are there that many like Cuban rafts anymore? Coast Guard's dealing with drug trafficking, not immigration.
the fact that they have an administration that's letting them do their jobs again and actually following the law is something they're very proud of. And so I think those two things are really what's making them proud.
Okay, you and I talked about this on the phone because of the drug scourge, the non-intrusive inspection, which is a lot of the technologies that can.
Oh, you mean the stuff that was in the Biden border bill that you guys passed on that you didn't want? That stuff?
Detect in large, when semis are coming through, there's a whole lot coming through the border, and we want to continue that free flow of goods. Where are you on that in this budget? Certainly you need more dollars to be able to.
Yeah, it's funny. If you guys had actually passed that fucking bill, you'd have all the funding for it you
I think
needed.
the numbers are low. How many you actually inspect or have been inspected? You need the technology.
Yeah, our
to move
ports of
forward.
entry need new technology and scanners that we just simply aren't scanning many shipping containers right now adequately. A lot of our air freight isn't scanned. Some of these scanners that we have in place.
Yeah, but so what? I mean, I always thought there was just people bringing like bags of fentanyl in their backpacks across, just hoofing it, right? It's just all these dirty Mexicans bringing drugs, right, lady? Isn't that the whole point? So you cut down on immigration next to zero, and still you have a major drug problem. Maybe it was never them?
Need infrastructure around them so that they work in the heat and in the rain. Sometimes they're dysfunctional and shut down. We have railroad cars coming in that aren't getting inspected, and then small packages. Small packages every day that are being shipped in by the millions that we are not inspecting at all. So the kind of technology needs that we have to invest in are costly, but they're secure our country. And when we have
Again, yes, all of this was in the bipartisan border bill. Yeah, all the funding for that was in there.
in a foreign enemy country like China and the PRC that's trying to kill off our next generation of Americans,
Why wasn't she at the trade negotiation?
which is what they're doing to weaken our economy and our society, those upgrades and that technology advancement will incredibly help us make sure that we know what's coming into this country and it's not a poison that will be killing our kids and our next generation.
Certainly have my support with that. I did chair this subcommittee at one point with the ranking member. He was chairing and I was ranking, so we're getting to know each other very well.
That's adorable.
You have my support there. I do want to say, and I am concerned about the FEMA issue. Coming from a small state that is subject to a lot of natural disasters, flooding in most cases, FEMA, my experience with FEMA, has it been flawless? Has it been, a smooth road? No, but I think it's a vital function. And I'm concerned if we turn it all over to the states, capacity for the state to really handle this.
So what you're saying is you want, hold on. I'm not familiar with Shelley Moore from West Virginia. Yep, there you go. Senator Shelley Moore, Capito, yeah. From Shelley Moore Capito from West Virginia. So what she's saying, in case you're confused, is Senator Capito wants blue states to continue funding West Virginia's survival in case it has emergency disasters. Because, if we got money to spend on drugs, we got money to spend on bailing them out, I guess. Is that the idea?
Is something so I would ask you to tread lightly. I don't really need a response there, but I do want to put on the record here that I am concerned about, I do think we need a national response to disasters. Does it look just like FEMA? I hope,
Grow the fuck up. Stop it. Stop with this get rid of FEMA stuff. Fish stinks from the head. If you can't run it right, it's your ass. If it was run wrong, then fix it. But the idea that we don't need a unifying response for the states when a state like yours can't fucking afford to bail out their own fucking canoe is idiotic. The blue states are more than charitable when it comes to this shit. Stop fucking around, and if you think FEMA isn't running right, then run it right. Show us, Mr. fucking businessman, somebody who's like, I was in the corporate arena for years, and I know a thing or two about how things should be run efficiently and to the highest, because a for-profit scheme where we find these things will show you how to, like, if I balance my budget the way this is ridiculous. Like, fuck you, it's FEMA. Fix it. It's bigger than you. Have some fucking responsibility. If you say FEMA's a wreck and you can't do anything with it, it has nothing to do with the organization. The existence of the organization makes total sense on paper. It makes total sense in the field. If you can't run it, you can't run shit. Get out.
I hope the changes that are made will be able to have them to be able to react quickly and to help our state and local resources. I did invite you to the Advanced Training Center where we do training for Border Patrol. Look forward to seeing you there, and thank you very much.
It's just exciting. I gotta run for Senate. I gotta move to a tiny fucking state and run for Senate. That's all. That's it. Fuck this nonsense. I'm from Kentucky more than Rand Paul is. I'm gonna have to move in with my dad, set up my address there, and run for office there. Cause holy shit. What the hell?